I may not be what you want, yeah, but I'm all you'll ever need. Kids in Brooklyn.
All right, guys, I know what you're thinking. How do we end up here again, right? I know I'm thinking that. Man, as you can see, I've got her all apart again. And I'll tell you why. So, I actually had got a custom AC line made, right? And I ended up wrapping up all this and that DEI stuff to keep the heat out. And I was having issues with the AC where I guess now that the line is shorter, I realized this later on, it's not going to take the same amount of Freon in there. So we put what it was supposed to be, and it was way too high. The PSI was at like 300. So we were playing with the PSI to see what's the right amount that it should take in there. So we're still playing with that. But while I was doing that, I noticed that, again, my AC was kind of turning on and off and clicking on and off and kept blowing a fuse. And I was like, oh, well, let me try troubleshooting that. So while I'm there troubleshooting, I noticed that my car was idling odd. And usually that happens to my car when the fans are not properly working. And I'm saying this from experience because I had originally bought some Mishimoto fans, and I'm a huge fan of Mishimoto, so I will say that first and foremost. I do love Mishimoto fans. Mishimoto products. I've got their radiator, I've got their hose kits, I've got their sandwich plates, I've got a couple of their components that I think are really well made. The fans, I went with the slim fans due to the space and everything, and sure enough, one set of fans went on me because that was more of an install error when a job got done and not by me, and it ended up damaging the fan. I ended up replacing those two fans with two Mishimoto new fans, right? So back here are my old fans. Why do I still have them here? I don't know. I thought I was gonna send them back to Mishimoto, and I gotta reach out to them at this point because I don't know what to do anymore with Mishimoto. I put a second set of fans. Sure enough, one of them went, right? So this is the smaller of the two. This one still works. This one, which is the 12-inch, that one's a 10-inch. This one was not working. And there was no physical damage or anything like that to it that I can see. I was testing it on the bench meaning right here to my block, and it wasn't turning on. But then when I would tap it, like tap the actual fan, it will turn on. So it's got to be something inside that motor. What I ended up doing, and this is kind of where I'm at right now, is I ended up ordering SPAL fans at this point. Why I didn't do that from the beginning, I don't know. I wanted to keep everything Mishimoto. Even when the first set kind of went bad, it wasn't really a issue with the fan itself. I think it was more of the install job that was done at that time with something else that caused that to fail. And I was like, all right, well, let me give them the benefit of the doubt. I'll go ahead and, order Mishimoto again. And sure enough, this one failed now. So this is telling me there's something else with the fan. I went with SPAL. I'm waiting for the SPAL fans to come in. But now what I'm doing is I'm wrapping everything. I mean, I had the headers already wrapped. I went as far as going it all the way down as far as I could. Wrap that whole piece. My dump tube, I went ahead and wrapped that. My downpipe, I went ahead and went a little further. If you saw my previous video, I didn't have enough, so I just ordered some more. I went a little bit further down there. I really am trying to isolate any of the heat issues that I'm having. And maybe that's why the fan failed or why something happened there. I don't know. But, that's me going through two sets of Mishimoto fans in less than a year. Which to me, it's I don't know. That just doesn't seem right to me. But it is what it is. So what I ended up doing was, right now, this is the stage that I'm at. I wired in some relays in preparation for the new fans to come in. I got some relays here because those other SPAL fans are gonna draw about 25 amps from what they say. I did the whole job, and then last night I'm reading up why, because I'm waiting for the fans, so I have nothing better to do. So I was reading up on the fans and the install just for the heck of it, and they say, hey, make sure you use quality relays and quality wires, because if you use the cheap stuff, it ain't gonna work. So I was like, well, I ordered this kit off of Amazon, right? It can't be bad. Under the reviews, somebody had done like a test on it, and although these are supposed to be good for 30 to 40 amps, this is that 5-pack. if y'all ever go to Amazon and you've ordered these work great for a lot of other things. I've used them for a ton of other things, like this little pack right here. It's cool because it comes with the harnesses and everything, but the rating on this, although it says a 30 to 40 amp relay kit, the harnesses are only rated for like 105 degrees. And I'm pretty sure this is gonna draw way more than that when or get hotter than that when it's up and running with all that heat in there. So to avoid that, I went ahead and just went out, scooped up, you know, some, I think, better quality relays, some Duralast one. These were about 12 bucks a pop. So I'm gonna wire in these relays. These are 30 amp relays, just in case, even though it's only gonna draw 25 amps. I ended up picking some 14 gauge wire and 14 gauge wire. And all I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna make my whole new harnesses. I'm not gonna use the original harness at all on the car. It is a 32-year-old car, it's a 1990. The harness I think will be fine for the original stuff, but the last thing I wanna do is redo this job again. As you can see, anytime I have to do any work on this car, everything has to come out. Header's gotta come out, downpipe has to come out, and that top hose, I gotta drain the radiator. I mean, it's a big job for me to do every single time I gotta do something like this. This is already gonna be the third time I'm doing this job now because of that. So I'm gonna go SPAL, top quality stuff, and I'm gonna go and do it right the first time. I thought I did it right the first time. It's not really an install error, it's more of a, I think, a product issue, which I will reach out to Mishimoto and see if they can do right on that, because it is 2 sets of fans that I ended up picking up from them, which is roughly about $400-ish is what I spent, not to mention the SPAL fans cost that I just spent right now. So hopefully the next part of this section is going to be when it's all together, and these should be coming in tomorrow. All right, man, we out here again. We over here at 5 Bar in Fort Myers. We're gonna tune her again, see if we can go up on power a little bit. Man, I keep having the same crappy issue and I cannot figure this out. Maybe you guys can figure this out for me. So with this car, after driving it for about, I don't know, 30 minutes or so, my signal light fuse blows. Whether I'm using the signal light fuse or not, it blows. And then I pop a fuse in and it blows instantly. So there's got to be a short somewhere. If anybody experienced this in the past, please let me know what you guys think it is. I'm looking for wires to see if there's an exposed power wire to ground or something. But man, there's a lot of wires to look for. So if any of you guys know about that, please put it in the comments. Let me know what you guys think it could be. I thought it was a loose wire that I found behind the cluster. Taped it off, was working fine. And then about 30 minutes into my drive, it went ahead and started doing it again. So the problem is not solved. And I'll show some clips of the car. Let me show you some other car getting tuned. We just got her on the dyno. She's gonna do the first pull. This is gonna be a base model because we already pulled before. This is the first one before we go. Let's see what it does on this dyno. you can see, no more smoke out the back, so that turbo angle for sure needed to get fixed, man. I love that part of it. We went up 4 clicks, so let's see how much. It made 228. 228 before. It went down?